do something you love. Because I just followed that advice, and now I'm here. Yeah.
What would you tell, let's say if you went back in time, what would you tell that young you that who is trying to like navigate that change? What would you tell them?
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, I can't lie. I would probably tell him to stay hopeful. Yeah, don't lose hope. Just keep going. Yeah. My name is Harry. I'm a student at USIU. I do software engineering, and I am a fitness enthusiast. I love art. I love music. Yeah.
Yeah. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay. So welcome to our second episode. This is Bear and Becoming, and today we're going to be talking about outgrowing versions of ourselves. What do you think about that?
I feel like it's a good topic to have a discussion on. Yeah.
Let's start.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think you've had different versions of yourself growing up, like just up to where you got into right now?
Yeah, I feel like I've had so many versions of myself. I look back at the photos and the videos I recorded when I was still like in my teenagehood, and I really think about how I felt in that phase and who I was at that time. And I kind of like feel like I've grown to a certain point that I'm not that version anymore. And I'm a very different person than who I was in the past. So I feel like, yeah, I have had versions of me like from the past.
Well, today this topic was basically based on myself. But given the past 10 months, I've realized that I've had different personalities going down it, based on the circumstances that have come forward, the problems, and even just coming to face the solutions that I've had to take to get to a better place. And I'd say that I'm not the same person I was a day before, or even in the morning. I'm not the same person. But yeah, so we're going to talk about all that shifting of being someone who you were in the last 10 minutes and who you are right now, in the last 10 years and who you are right now. Yeah. So let's start. So, what versions of yourself do you think have been there?
Well, there's been so many, but there have been quite a few that strongly hold a place inside of me still. The version of me that was still confused about what action I should take in certain situations, the version of me that felt depressed, felt sad about everything. So yeah, I think those are the main versions of me that still hold a part of me inside.
What about, think of it this way. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a pediatrician. I think we all wanted to be doctors when we were kids.
Yeah.
You know, that career where you thought you would make it in life. I wanted to be a pediatrician. And then when I got to high school, I wanted to be an artist, like just major myself into artists, like painting and all that. And now I'm in university and I'm doing something with web development.
Yeah.
You see those kind of different versions.
Yeah.
Like you find yourself at certain points in life, you liked certain things, or you were this kind of person, you dressed this kind of way to express yourself, and now you're completely different from who you were then and who you are now. So I'd say we've had so many portions of things that have made us who we are right now, and I wouldn't say they were bad. Like, were you scared of those shifts? Because for me, it was scary a bit, you know, changing from liking this or having a favorite food and then changing it to something else, you know? Yeah, were you scared of those shifts?
I remember, this is just a story about me. When I was joining college, and my whole life since I was in middle school, I'd always wanted to be a pilot. But after I finished high school, I didn't get the chance to go to any school that offered aviation, in that section for aviation. I felt very hopeless, like very hopeless. And my mom made me get through that phase. And I feel like I shifted my perspective and I ended up doing software engineering. And honestly, I'm happy about that. But that shift, it was kind of like hopelessness. And mostly I was afraid of my future. I was scared. I was scared, yeah.
You're scared of what it'd become?
Yeah.
Like from your interest of aviation, then turning to software
IT,
engineering.
yeah, something I never thought in my mind.
Do you feel better right now that you're in it?
I feel much better, honestly.
What are some of the things you're having fun in IT?
Honestly, when I was in high school, I used to love innovation. So I'm happy where I'm at because I'm able to express that innovativeness in all aspects in IT. Yeah. So I'm able to help society and also assist myself with working with people, you know, whether be it helping others. So I'm very much comfortable where I'm at right now.
Do you think you'd ever want to go back? Like when you're finished with maybe IT, would you want to start in aviation, or you've just said that part of your life is gone?
It's not entirely gone. Like it's kind of like I had a mindset shift. At that point where I was so hopeless, and I just shifted my perspective, and I realized that things take time, and I should take life slowly and just, you know. Yeah.
So you ended up getting a new skill. You grew into something else, but you have not lost who you are then.
Not yet. Yeah.
Yeah, that is so real. Because I think when you look at those shifts between the versions of yourself as you grow up, it shouldn't be scary because you're not losing who you were then. You're just becoming into something more. Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
So what do you think with where you are right now with IT? Do you see yourself building something out of that, building a whole career, really venturing into it and just giving it your whole personality?
I see myself improving in so much, even not only in my career-wise, but also inside of me, my morals, my goals. I see myself becoming something more. Yeah.
More.
Yeah, something more brighter, like a better version of me.
Better version. Do you participate in hackathons?
Yeah, once.
Once. How was it?
Honestly, I had it in my New Year's resolution list, and it was very much fun. It wasn't what I expected, because honestly, what we learned there was nothing I'd ever thought about. So it was very much fun.
You just said something. I think New Year's resolution, like, you think the person you were last year is the same person that you envisioned to be this year? Because when the year is starting and you're like seated down and you're writing a whole New Year revolution, you're trying to plan out this other person you want to be, like these things you want to achieve or build up within this span of like the whole year. Can you say the person or the things that you achieved last year, are they more, or like, do they separate who you are from last year to now? Or have you just grown into something else with more things to look into?
I feel like I've grown into so much things that I never looked into, in the sense that I had some goals I wanted to achieve by the end of this year. But at this point that I'm at right now, I feel like we don't really see the potential in ourselves. It's kind of like we limit ourselves to certain things, because I might set a goal and then at the end of like 3 to 5 months, if I put in consistency, I may be able to achieve that. Because to be fair, I think I've achieved like almost all the goals I had put in my New Year's resolution. So I feel like I need to just think outside the box and become something I can't even think about.
Let me ask, like, when you have you ever had other shifts?
Other shifts?
Yeah, like just growing up. Have you even the things you used to wear? Like, is your fashion right now the same as your fashion as in 13 years old, the teenager that you were, or even as a young person?
Not really.
Or then the things that you used to say, your mindset obviously isn't the same. Yeah.
Yeah, I've grown so much. Like even my style, everything has just transitioned into something else. Yeah.
Okay, so you look at let's say like fashion. For me, it was like I started looking at more things. Like I was coming out of my own parents' fashion that they had for me, and now evolving into my own. And it kind of affected the people around me, you know, because they were like, you want to
Wow.
dress like that?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't
Very much
something that
surprised.
they were expecting. Yeah, it was my way of expressing myself. So I'd say not everyone kind of accepts the changes that you want to go through. And sometimes it might even be about mindset. You can have some people, even your friends, you're talking to them, and then you realize they don't align with the same thing that you want to align yourself with. And it can be very difficult because at the end of the day, you might even end up losing those friends. It would be so difficult. Like, you'd feel lonely. It would be hurtful and devastating to start even to think about it. And you might feel like everything else is against you. How would you go about that?
I mean, if I was in that position.
Yeah, if you're in the position where you have friends who you don't align with anymore. Yeah.
Honestly, it's all about mindset and your perspective. Because if you want to do what other people do, then that means you don't really have, you're just doing it because others are doing it. And when you do something different, you feel like you are alone or people don't understand you.
Yeah, but sasa sintabaki bila marafiki. Because
I mean,
they're doing all this other fun stuff, and I'm like, I'm not comfortable with that. So we don't even match anymore. And it's like, I think it's one of the biggest challenges I went through when I was joining university, because the people I was meeting, so many people I was meeting were like, they want to go clubbing, they want to party like every end week. And I'm like, I love partying, but I can't do that every end week. I don't have that energy.
I feel like in that specific situation, you are in a better position where you're understanding yourself, in the sense that you know that you can't do this every day. Like, it's part of knowing yourself and accepting that this is you and this is the person you're becoming. You're no longer interested in going for parties every other weekend. You're interested in doing something else that, fills your heart, or builds that passion you've always been wanting to go for.
Yeah, but it's just, I'm changing.
Yeah.
I'm changing from their views and becoming my own person. And it might feel so hard because you'll feel like there's no outside support.
Yeah.
And also, I don't know about this, but family also has a very big role to play in it. When you don't have like family members to even go visit during that whole time, you find that you join a university and you're like so far away from home. You don't even know where to start from. So
yeah, that happens.
I think the best thing, as I did, was to find people who aligned with me. It might take a whole long time, but it's better to be comfortable with the people around you than to fight against your own internal self. Yeah, it's a conflict. I don't think it's a conflict anyone can ever win. Yeah. Whew. So what does becoming look like to you right now?
Becoming.
Yeah, in the aspect of, what would you say defines the perfect you right now? Someone who's you're comfortable being. Yeah, you're growing into whatever field you want to indulge in, or even career, or even let's say other things, not even necessarily even in your studies, like other side hustles. You said you got the gym.
Yeah.
You're a gym expert.
I'm a gym enthusiast. Yeah.
Enthusiast. So what do you want to go down? You want to like go down into getting into gym that much, like health wise?
I mean, to answer the question of becoming, I feel like okay, for me personally, what I've come to realize is we're not perfect human beings. So like in that process of becoming, you're gonna face a lot of challenges, a lot of downsides, and you're gonna feel like you're not there yet. Because even when I'm working out in the gym, I never get to that point where I'm fully satisfied with how I look like, because mostly it's body dysmorphia. So you're never usually satisfied with how you just keep going and going. And that's part of the process of becoming. It's growth. Yeah. And growth doesn't have to be perfect, where you get to that point, you're like, I'm here. You're never there. You're never there. Yeah. You'll even get to your 40s, you won't like feel like you're there yet. You'll just keep growing and growing.
Keep grinding.
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like that's the process. That's what means by becoming. Yeah. Becoming more than what
you are right now.
So even if I'm focusing on the gym, there's lots of things in the world to explore. I mean, there's relationships, there's finance, there's my career, there's lots of things. Yeah.
So what kind of, like, after you lost the opportunity to go into aviation, what gave you the morale to keep into this other discipline, like IT sasa?
Honestly, it was my mom. I can't lie. It was my mom helped me go through that process because I was so hopeless, because that's the one thing I'd put my mind on ever since middle school through high school. And I was just, my mind was set on that. And when I couldn't get that chance to do aviation, I was so hopeless. I didn't even want to leave the house. I just locked myself in the room, and my mom was like, just do something you love. Because I was very good at IT. I can't lie. I was very good at IT, and I loved all this computer stuff. So my mom was like, just do something that you're good at. And I just followed that advice, and now I'm here. Yeah.
What would you tell, let's say if you went back in time, what would you tell that young you that who is trying to like navigate that change? What would you tell them?
Oh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I can't lie. I would probably tell him to stay hopeful. Yeah, don't lose hope. Just keep going. Yeah,
because they'd find something way better.
Yeah,
I think that's nice.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
But you know, I relate to the fact that you joined university and what you did wasn't necessarily what you saw yourself in. Because for me as well, I wanted to do fine arts. I really, really wanted to do fine arts.
Really?
Because I was really good at painting and drawing and everything. But then when I looked at like the university system, I wasn't able to find a school that would facilitate it. And at the time, truthfully, art is not that much valued in Kenya, but it's not widespread. It is valued, but with like a minority of people. Like it's not well known. And my parent was like, I want you to do something that can build you, but also you have to have an interest in it. Yeah, so that's how I got into the course that I'm doing right now, software engineering. Yeah.
And how does it feel to be?
I say it's different. Yeah. It's different from what I expected, but I think I can also incorporate what I really wanted to do, like fine arts with the technology sasa.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It comes to editing, maybe even doing animations. I can incorporate my creativity within the field that I'm doing. Gotcha. Yeah. So it's been good so far. It's been really, really good. And something I would tell my younger self is that there is a light at the end of that tunnel that they're seeing as darkness. And there's going to be something way better for them and even for who they're going to become. Yeah. But that's basically it. It's been a whole journey, just shifting from one person to the other, wanting to be a pediatrician, wanting to be an artist. And now that I'm an engineer, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And even within my fashion itself, it has changed drastically. Or dramatically. Any of them. But yeah, it's been a journey, and I'm very comfortable with where I am right now. What do you think your future is looking like? What do you want to see yourself?
I see myself in a far much better place than I'm at right now, in the sense that I can't really envision what my future will look like. But what I know is my future is way brighter than what I see it right now. Because honestly, that if I go 2 years back, if that version of me saw who I am right now, they would be very surprised. Would be shocked. They'll be like, what? Like, this is not me.
I envision myself somewhere in the Maldives in a yacht. In a yacht. Just sipping some wine.
Period.
Yeah. But yeah. But I see myself being stable, being independently, financially, and just having things in set. And even if they aren't, I will take a step at a time. Yeah. Solving each problem when it faces me.
Yeah.
And we can have every single moment just living in that moment. Because I'm not sure. I really am not sure what the future has. But what I'm sure about is that the choices I'm making right now, I'm proud of them. Yeah. And they might not be the same that I would make the following days. But you take a step at a time.
Yeah. That's the way to go.
So that's the end for us. That's the end of today's episode. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. This meant a lot.
Yeah.
Huh?
Glad.
You are? Did you have fun?
Yeah. A lot.
You did?
So much fun. Yeah.
I am. So thank you for tuning in. This is Bear and Becoming. And if this felt like it related to you, send it to someone who also needs it. And we can't wait to see you next time.